Hello, hello, hello on this amazing Wednesday. How are you doing? It is hump day. Can you believe it? I can't, because these days go by so fast recently. And I am so glad that you are tuning in with us live. If you're watching live or if you're watching the replay, welcome to Get to Know Bob, this amazing platform where we do just that. We have some amazing conversations with Bob, let you know who they are, what they do, and most importantly, why they do what they do. I am your host, Sonia Weaver. I am excited, as always, to be here this evening. And it is a busy Wednesday. I have been going nonstop since I woke up this morning. So if I seem like I get a little woo-woo, I am making sure that I stay energetic and alert for you because you deserve it. You should get excited. We are about to have another amazing conversation with a phenomenal Bob. I am looking forward to this. Hello, Tanya Davis. Thank you for joining, and make sure you share this with others. So let me give you a little recap. Now, I know I have such high excitement, and what I am about to share, you may think it's not necessarily something we should be like just over the top celebrating. I don't believe, though, a celebration of life is exactly what that is. So we experience death. To know and live is to know you're going to experience death. And a dear friend of mine, the founder of True to You Candles, who you know is one of our major supporters, has a phenomenal business, has been on the show, lost her father. And I will say it was a celebration of his life. He was a phenomenal artist, and he came back, relocated back to Michigan to spend time with her and her family, and really prepared everything ahead of time. And they got an opportunity to spend that last time with him, enjoying him, loving him, and celebrating him. So I attended a wonderful service and a celebration of life, and got a chance to see some of his brilliant artwork. And it was really something that is near and dear to my heart that I feel will always be a treasured memory. And I am so glad I had the opportunity to do so. Then on today, literally earlier today, had an amazing workshop, if I say so myself. The Nightmare Before Breakthrough. Embracing the authentic you. It was phenomenal, and it's such a great reminder and a timely reminder, the importance of being authentically you. If you recall, my YouTube channel started off with me not being so authentic. I really don't like this squeaky voice of mine, but I had to embrace it because when I was trying to talk differently, no one was connecting. Of course, and why not? It was sounding so fake, so stiff, no connections there. You have to be your authentic you, whether you like things about you, whether you don't. Some people will vibe with you, some won't. It is what it is. Business is a numbers game, and don't expect to get 100% of the business out there. That's impossible. But believe me, the ones who need and want and desire to connect to you are going to connect to you when you are being your authentic you. So it was a great conversation. I'm not sure how to do a replay yet because it was live Zoom on via Alignable. And if you don't know about Alignable, make sure you go over and inquire because it is a wonderful platform to connect with people. But yes, because it's the holiday season, some of you celebrate it, some of you don't. I believe in harvest season, in light Halloween. I don't believe in that scary demon kind of crap. Yeah, that freaks me out. But this movie, The Nightmare Before Christmas, has so many lessons in it. And the authentic you is definitely one of them. So it was an amazing time that I had an opportunity to share with the people that were part of the workshop. Now, our deal of the day, and I have it like hidden. Did I just? Yeah, here we go. Sorry. Yes. I'm giving this away again because I have enjoyed it thoroughly. And we are embarking on the end of this year, heading into 2024. And if you want to have a personal transformation journal that covers just about anything, where you are able to take notes, where you are able to take your action plans, where you get inspirational quotes, this is the journal to have for 2024. And as you know, Miss Sandra Epps was our guest a few weeks ago. She is the author of this amazing book and has an amazing event coming up, the Detroit Dow Show. So if you want to get your copy of this book, how do you do so? Well, it's quite simple. Receive this amazing book, and I can't wait to give it to you again. So be the first person. Don't delay, don't procrastinate like I do. Make sure you go ahead and take those 3 steps so that this book can be yours. As we move right along into our show, we're getting to the point where we're going to have our conversation, yes, with tonight's guest. But if you missed last week, make sure that you take an opportunity to go and watch that. That was our quarter 3 recap. It gives you all of the all of the phenomenal conversations that we had with the fabulous Bobs that were featured during the 3rd quarter. It gives a little snippet of some of, great things they said, tips and tidbits, and all of that good stuff. It lets you know who you might want to see right away and who you may want to put a pin in to watch later, who you might want to refer to someone who needs their products or services. It is definitely worth the watch. And on tonight's show, get excited. We are going to be speaking with Dr. Thembi Aquil, who is the founder of Sensible Living. Welcome to our show. How are you this evening?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you for agreeing to come on. We are so honored that you're here this evening with us.
Thank you. And it's pronounced Thembi. Thembi
Thembi.
Aquil.
I'm sorry, Akil.
Yes.
Okay, Thembi.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
So, what we do here on Get to Know Bob is we allow our guests to self introduce. We want you to connect to our audience and let our audience connect to you. So, please tell them a little bit who you are, what you do, and why you do what you do.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry that I missed your workshop today because I'm sure it would have been beneficial for me, and especially talking about authentic self and you talk about your voice. I had to learn to get used to my southern drawl, so I hope your listeners can understand the words that are coming out of my mouth.
You sound phenomenal to me. No problem.
Okay. Okay. So, like I said, I'm Dr. Thembi Aquil. I currently reside in Georgia, but I'm from Florida. So, I'm not looking forward to this change of temperature that's coming. Um,
Well, wait a minute. It's warm in Georgia, right?
Now it is. This week it is. We had nice this week. Last week we had lows in the 30s and highs in the
Oh,
60s. So
okay.
it's that seesaw weather until it actually gets cold.
Oh, I didn't know it got that cold there. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I was sad. What else? Let's see. I am a financial wellness coach, and I got into that from being in the banking industry for over 25 years.
Mhm, mhm,
So during my time in banking, I started volunteering for Junior Achievement and realized that I really enjoyed helping others understand the financial concepts and realize how much our people, especially, don't know. So I realized the need, and towards the end of my journey in the financial industry, when I was officially stressed out and couldn't take it anymore, um,
yeah.
I decided to take this journey on to actually do something that I enjoy doing and feel is much needed.
Yes, I was like, been there, right? And
Yes.
that is awesome. Because I couldn't agree with you more. I sat for our NAACP Western Wayne, Michigan branch as the executive chair for financial sustainability because I too know the importance for our community to have financial literacy. It is
Mm,
huge. It's like we're kind of behind the curve. The information is out there, but we didn't know it. So now people like you who are definitely presenting the information to our communities makes a difference, makes impact, and I can't wait for our conversation to find out more about that because it is so needed. Thank you so
yeah.
much for doing a leap of faith, right?
Yeah, definitely was that.
So if you had to sum it up, what would you say the core mission of your business is, and then the best ways or different ways in which you serve the community?
For sensible living, the mission is to create the access for financial wellness information for minorities. Um, like you said, the information is out there, but it's not easily attainable for everyone. It's not easily understood if you're just trying to read it, right? Everybody has different learning styles, so just me sending you an article does not mean that's going to give you the information that you need.
Yes. Mhm.
So I do workshops virtually and in person, and I also do one-on-one coaching. I also work with companies where I do workshops for their employees as part of their wellness program. A lot of companies are really trying to not just focus on getting fit or eating healthy, they're also trying to introduce this concept of financial wellness also. So trying to get people however I can, wherever they are, they say meet me where I am. So that's what I'm trying to do.
Awesome, awesome. So in this industry and then how you mixed into the industry, has anyone had any misconceptions about exactly what you do?
Oh, all the time. Because coaching is um still kind of new, right? You're used to counselors and you're used to therapists. If you hear of a coach, it's usually something sports related.
Mhm.
So now the big life coach push came about. But anytime I say anything financial, they think I'm talking about like a financial uh, analyst or a financial advisor. They want me to give them stock advice.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
so
Okay.
I have to explain the difference between, no, I'm not licensed to sell you any products. No, I can't help you get rich with stock advice, but I can help you with your mindset of making sure saving and paying down debt and actually want to invest
Mhm.
so that your money can grow. And then I have a referral network of people that then I will refer them to a financial planner if that's something that they're ready to move into.
Gotcha, gotcha. So since you are a coach, and let's say most people do equate it to the sports arena, coaches actually lay out this plan, and you got to execute on the plan. So, as a financial coach, are you doing similar things when you work with your clients?
Yes, that's the first session is a deep dive into their finances, just so we can get a clear picture of where their money's going,
Mhm.
understanding what their goals are, and taking the picture that we've painted and figure out what steps we need to take to achieve their goals. So
Gotcha.
there'll be short-term goals, which a lot of times is paying down debt and building a savings, because you wouldn't believe how many people don't even have $100 saved.
Wow.
Um, and then there's long-term goals. So trying to buy a house or, college fund, those kind of things. So it's definitely a plan that we put into place, and then we meet periodically to see what you've accomplished, if there's some things we need to shift in the plan, and then make sure we're on the right track.
Gotcha, gotcha. So we're going to be finding out more, but before we proceed into our next segment, we're going to take a moment to recognize our nonprofit that we're featuring this evening. Some of our businesses that are offering our consumer members some deals and some amazing events within the community. We'll be right back. Pregnancy Resource Center is not your ordinary pregnancy center. With virtual classes, resources, and counseling, they aim to equip expectant moms and dads over 18 with the tools needed to steer through life's snags. Genesis Pregnancy Resources' vision is to restore families back in the community on a Christian foundation by promoting healing, self-sufficiency, self-esteem, and personal responsibility. They offer webinars and workshops, counseling and therapy, small group support, and the Council of Dads. And all services are free. Sonia M. Weaver Coaching focuses on personal and professional coaching with a direct approach that makes each client accountable for their success by guiding them towards making a plan to reach their full potential and goal. Sonia M. Weaver Coaching assists people in thinking outside the box and getting to know themselves in new ways and assisting them achieve the success they never dreamed possible. They are offering our consumer members free consultation. Mona Lisa's Lyrics LLC is an established promotions company that focuses on building communities. They offer well-renowned events at affordable prices. Mona Lisa's Lyrics is offering consumer members 15% off event packages. Stepmom Sanity presents a 7-week fall Bible study, Jesus and Women in the First Century and Now, every Saturday beginning October 14th, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This Friday night, decompression session hosted by Sonia M. Weaver and Jason Integrity. Come celebrate the wins, let go of the stress, vent, share, and encourage. Registration is now via Alignable. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel by going to Deals with Bob and clicking the subscribe button. So welcome back. Welcome back. I was thinking during our pause and I got some clips. So you talked about your work in the community, Well, you talked a little bit more about working individually with people. So lead me into your work within the community collective. You mentioned workshops and such.
Um, I still believe that the younger we can introduce this to children, the better chances of them getting it. It's easier to teach good habits than break bad habits, right?
Mm-hmm.
So every year I still go into, the schools and elementary schools specifically to teach the concepts of wants versus needs, introduce savings, what can they do to earn money, extra money for them to save for the things that they want or need. So I still do those. And then also, like, I have a workshop coming up Saturday, um, that will be in person here in the Atlanta area. And that one will focus on money mindset and money script, financial values and goals. So just I really try to start at the beginning, like the basics, getting people to understand why they make the decisions they make, which
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times is based on either
Now,
family
right.
traditions that were passed down or financial trauma, something that we experienced ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And until you address that, I can give you the best budget to follow, but you'll only follow it for so long, right? Then your pattern, you go back to repeating your same pattern.
Exactly.
So that's usually where I try and start, is really getting people to self-assess and understand why they're doing what they're doing, why they're making the decisions they're making.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, then we can move forward, and then they will have assess their values and their goals. So it's easier for you to stay on task if you have a carrot dangling in front of you, right? If you know you're working towards something, then you're more disciplined
Yeah.
versus me just giving you a task to complete.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Now, did I hear you right? You said financial script.
A money script.
What is that?
Um, it determines what your how you think about money.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, some people have negative connotations about money.
Mm-hmm.
Just, again, things that we hear growing up: money don't grow on trees. Money is the root of all evil. And for those people who sit in that, then they have a different relationship with money
Mm-hmm.
versus someone who sees the world as, the glass is half full, and you see more positive in life. Then that will be the person that will do more investing
Mm-hmm.
because they're willing to take that risk. So it's a self-assessment that you do to determine. It's titled a script, but really it's your mindset about money.
And your relationship with it,
Right.
etc. And does it go as far as to maybe how you even got to where you're at with when it comes to your relationship?
Right. And that's what it asks, what were you taught as a child, or what did you hear, or what did you witness?
Wow.
Because a lot of times it's not a matter of us being taught, it's seeing our parents stressed about money,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
so the conversation was never had, but we sat back and we watched.
Right.
And
Right.
so then that forms our thoughts and actions about money going forward.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So, well, for those who don't believe or maybe want to see you in action, we have a little bit to share with them. Let's take a peek and see you in action.
Okay. Saving. When you get your, let's say, Christmas or birthday gifts, if you get money, somebody raise your hand and tell me what you typically do with your money. If you save it, how much do you save? Let's say you get $100. Save all of it? Okay. Anybody else? Save half. Okay, that's a good rule of thumb. A lot of people try and go by. I recommend half. Definitely don't spend it all. That's where you go wrong. You figure out how much you want to save every time you get some money and try and stick to it. Half is a good number.
I love it. So try to save half of what you receive.
Yeah, I really try and teach that to the children, just for them to get in the habit of saving when they're younger,
Mm-hmm.
because they're their parents are still providing most of what they want and need.
Right.
The older they get, their requests are more expensive, and the parents are usually like, you got to figure it out on your own.
Right.
So if we can get them into the habit of saving half when they're younger, then it's easier for them to maintain it. Then you get a high school kid who and you want him to save half their check. No, it's not going to happen. They've already spent it in their mind.
Now you're definitely right about that. So what I have told my kids, and I don't know how possible it is, but it's my goal as well. And I'm gonna backtrack. So of course I have been behind the curveball a little bit with my financial education. Again, you only know what you know. You take observation, like you said, around the environments that you grew up with, what you saw, etc. And one area that was not understood and shared or was financial literacy and understanding some things. So as a result, made some mistakes young on. And when the mistakes happen, it's almost like it takes you a little while longer, right?
Yeah,
To recover from the
right.
mistakes. And then you might make the mistakes over again, which compounded the mistake. So here I am now, hopefully giving some knowledge and advice to my children. But I read somewhere along the way that if you can structure your finances to where you're only living off 70%, which leaves you your 10% to tithe, 10% for you, and 10% for investing, is that still what is being taught as a blueprint?
Well, they break it down a little more now to 50, 30, 20.
Okay, explain that.
Okay. Right. So it's still the same 70. It's just they split it up. So your 50 is your essentials, and
Mhm.
then your 30, that's your other expenses, and then your 20 is saving. Um or I try and flip it and get people to do the 30 save and the 20 on extras. But in that saving bucket, then you split it up, like you said, where it's um, savings, investment, and retirement, or tithing, so all of it. So instead of, because some people need a strict budget and they want line by line. But
Mhm.
some people don't like to live that confined. So they like that percentage where, okay, well, if my check is $1,000, 500 is going to my household immediate bills. Um, we're going to try and save the 30% and 20% I get to play with, kind of concept, right? And then that way they feel like they have more control over exactly how they move the money around.
Gotcha.
But that takes more discipline. Like you really have to be on top of, if you know your goals, and you'll know. I always suggest people have multiple savings accounts.
Mhm.
I coached a new client yesterday, and her task at the end was to open 4 savings accounts.
Okay.
Um, so, but it a house account. Either if you're a homeowner, you need it for your repairs, or if you're not a homeowner, that's your money to put up to purchase a home. I suggest everybody have a car account, because
Mhm.
the car always needs some kind of repairs, tires,
Right.
something. I like to travel.
Mhm.
That's big for me. That is important. That is high on my list of priorities. So I have a travel account. Um, and like for my client I just coached, she's not big on travel. She only does one trip a year, but she's
Mhm.
big on gifts.
Oh,
So I had her to open one together. It'll be a travel slash gift account. And so then whenever, it's birthdays or Christmas or whatever, she'll pull from that account. And then of course you have your emergency savings account that you're not touching. And then your basic savings that's linked to your checking, that's your regular savings that, if you just need extra money for groceries or something, that's where that will come from.
gotcha, gotcha. And so, I have had both ways of doing what you've stated in the budget. And most recently, I was like told to assign a job for every dollar, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So even if you have X amount, you put down this is, your in different colors. So this is what you want to do. So for example, travel, how much you want to put in travel.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have that with all the dollars you have, then you're looking, well, where can I adjust? Where can I
Yep.
put that? What can I do? Can I put at least $5 towards travel? You start kind of making it so that you start shifting your mindset towards what you want to do, and making it so that you see where your money is actually going. Like everything should have a job. So even if it's like, below $50 a month on whatever,
Right.
that's the category. Below $50 a month on whatever.
Right.
You
And that's what I told her. I said, okay, so I call it extra. That's my category is extra. And she said, well, I put that in with my like one of them is like self-care when you get your hair and nails. I said, yeah, but you're going to do that. That's not extra. That you're going to spend that money anyway. But it's
Right.
always something that you just pick up, like just because you're out and you saw it and it's cute or whatever, or you realize you wanted it. So there's something should always be in that extra bucket because something always comes up. And like I told her, if you don't end up spending anything extra, because I like you, $50 is at least $50 a month. If you don't spend it, then you decide what bucket you want to put it in. So are you going to put it in your travel, or she's really, like I said, didn't have a savings at all. So then that $50 needs to go into your emergency savings account. So like you said, you have to assign it. You have to know what the priorities are. So when you do have extra money that you don't spend, and if your light bill was less than you anticipated, that money has to go somewhere else.
Yes, yes, yes. Hello, Don. Thank you for joining. Good evening to you as well. So I got this image sent to me, and I'll be honest, I didn't go into great detail because I wanted to ask you about it.
Okay. Oh.
So is this like just giving tips and tidbits that you would kind of lure people in to let them know kind of what you will be discussing with them? What about this? It says taking control of debt.
that is that is the number one complaint that I hear when from individual coaching and group workshops. People are really struggling with debt,
Mm,
and
yeah.
it's a major source of stress, which is why I picked that picture to go with the flyer. Um, so until you come up with a plan, like we said, putting a name for every dollar,
Mm-hmm.
until you come up with a plan in your mind, it's just all these numbers are swirling around. Like I got
Mm-hmm.
this bill, I got this bill, I got this bill, and oh my God, my payment just went up on this, and you can't see it, right? You feel like you're drowning. So once we sit down and come up with the budget and come up with a plan, then is it magic? Does it make all the debt go away? No. But
We have a one.
yeah, but at least you can see, okay, by the end of this year I will have this paid off.
Mm-hmm.
By, like my new client I just spoke with, she owes her dad. She's been borrowing money from him. And so that's her goal, that's her priority. She's, I want to pay him off by the end of the year. What can we do for me to pay him off by the end of the year? That will give her peace of mind. She still has other debt that she'll have to tackle, but that will make her feel better that she's paid her dad back.
Right.
So that's why I did that flyer, was just to let people know that you don't have to live with that stress. with the debt hanging over your head. You come up with a plan and you work it, and you just chip at it little by little, little
Mm,
by little, and you'll accomplish your goal. So like you said, I've made bad decisions in my life growing up. I wasn't taught this information. So I had to dig myself out of a hole.
mhm,
So once you do it, you don't like the feeling.
mhm.
If you learn a good methodology to sustain you, then hopefully you don't end up back in that boat again.
Yes, yes. And of course, like anything else, you hear the cliche, how do you eat an elephant one bite at a time? When you now have it in front of you and you have a plan and you look at it as such, you have a goal and you work the plan, you will see yourself moving towards the goal. Nothing happens overnight,
Right.
but things do happen. And it is very possible. And that's what is encouraging in the work that you do, is because you are letting people know, yes, it can be stressful, but we can change once we work a plan. I also believe that that picture depicted like this stress, and when you have this stress, you're unknowingly creating these negative relationships with money.
Right.
And when you have this energy of this negative relationship, you're creating an environment where you're going to have negative relationship with money. You
Right.
know? So once you start seeing this plan work and you start seeing debt go down, you start having a different relationship in how you view money, which changes the energy of it. Next thing you know, you're handling it better, which allows you to have even possibility more attracting to you, or more opportunities in which the resource can be there. And that's what's so rewarding, because as you pay something down, now you have more resource to be able to manage. And as you manage it well and you pay something else down, you have now more resource to be able to manage. And
Right.
then, of course, like we said, our goal is to invest and save when we have this extra resource,
Right.
which will then ultimately create additional resource.
Exactly.
I love it. I love it. So before we continue this conversation, we do have to take a moment to acknowledge some more of our businesses that support our platform, as well as some amazing events within our community. Let's take a look. As our tax experts you can trust to cut out the fluff and get your taxes done right the first time, every time. Whether you're a business or an individual, Tax Divas will simplify your tax preparation and help you file your taxes on time. Tax Divas has helped many small businesses, advertising agencies, nonprofit organizations, and professionals in the entertainment industry. So choose them for timely tax filing and maximum refunds. Tax Divas is offering our consumer members 10% off or free registration, free consultation, or a free gift. Five Stones Digital was founded on the belief that digital media can serve as a valuable tool to allow all businesses, regardless of size, to communicate their message. Their vision is to provide all businesses of all sizes the capacity of converting ideas to reality using digital content. Five Stone Digital is offering consumer members 10% off.
We are the goal. We are Boss Entertainment Group Detroit, the premier independent business, media, consultation, performance, and music hub in the United States and Detroit. We now present our Boss endorsed events for this week. We are pleased to present the best of Detroit ska reggae, the hot new group. The Bellmarks have two incredible events. On October 28th, catch the Bellmarks live at Festival inside of Unity Vibration in Ypsilanti, Michigan. Also, November 2nd, the Bellmarks are back to rock the stage at Bolero in Ferndale, Michigan. For more information, go to Facebook Barack and Roll, Instagram at Bossigi Detroit, or call 313-528-9677. Stay tuned to Get to Know Bob, hosted by the amazing Sonia Weaver, for more exciting independent events, releases, and products from Boss Entertainment Group Detroit. Boss approved.
The GGQ Law Firm, along with Advanced Wealth Services, presents Legacy and Generations, Decisions Today, Impact Tomorrow. Hosted by Terrence Quinn. October the 28th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Ann Arbor Marriott in Ypsilanti, Michigan. Register today. The Braid Gallery presents Trunk or Treat. Come and have some spooky treats on Tuesday, October the 31st from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. at 10612 West 7 Mile Road in Detroit, Michigan. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel by going to Deals with Bob and clicking the subscribe button. So welcome back. Now, here's the part of the show where I like to share how we met. Now, if I mentioned at the beginning of the show about my event that I had earlier today that was on Alignable, I am new, like new, baby new to Alignable, but things like this happen. And we met at this phenomenal Smart Connect for Black business owners group. And what I loved about it is that it is an engaged, interactive group. It was not like you just joined a group and you made these posts and you saw other people's posts and da 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 da. It actually gave you an opportunity to connect in a smart way. Yeah. And so we got placed together. What is it, like 10, 15 minutes? I can't remember.
Yeah. It's usually less than 15, but anywhere between 10 and 15, depending on how many people are joined.
Okay. And so we happened to get placed in a group and began a conversation, just literally what we say, who you are, what you do, and it leads someone to why you do what you do. And I'm like, okay, this is a kindred spirit right here, because the passion exuded from you. Like, I love telling people about financial literacy. And it was like, I love when people get financial knowledge about it. And for a moment, I did, like I said, in my role with the Western Wayne County NAACP, did financial education and financial literacy. My passion is helping people. So while I was doing it, of course, I love and enjoy doing it, but I knew it was not the core of my passion. You know, money and is not the core of my passion, but it's so needed. So when I connected with you, I'm like, yes, another person. Because what's so great about the work you do not have to be in the same state to get literacy when it comes to your money and finances. So I had a kindred spirit, someone who's passionate about what she does, and now I'm bringing her to you. So make sure that you write this down, share with others. If you're not where you need to be, reach out. That's the whole purpose of Get to Know Bob, so that you can do just that. So now tell me, what was your thoughts about, the whole Smart Connect in the Black business group?
I love Jason. I think he's a great host because he reminds us of why we're there, right? Make sure you're making connections, getting to know people, not on here trying to sell, because that's what I was afraid of. So I like the genuine conversations that are had when we have the Smart Connects.
Yes. I surely do. And exactly is that, when you're making connections, you're building relationship. And believe me, when you build a relationship, if someone has a product or service that you need, you want to do business with people that you feel comfortable with, that you connected to, that you see their passion in what they are doing, And so why not get to know that first? Versus, let me tell you what I do, and because that's now, you know what?
Right. Never mind.
So
and like the financial planner that I refer people to, I met him on Alignable at a Smart Connect.
Oh, okay.
So I've made some good connections on there. And like you said, you only have a few minutes, but it doesn't take long to connect with people, to really connect, right? So instantly if that's someone who you connected with. And so I think that's a good platform to be on for that purpose.
Yes, yes, yes. So now you are on another platform, and I came across this, and it's going to create hopefully some engaged conversation because I'm curious just what people said. Let's take a look.
Oh Lord, what is it?
I got a quick question for you.
Oh,
When it comes to finances, if you have a business, what's your biggest pain point or frustration? Is it that you're unable to pay yourself consistently? Do you not have emergency savings or reserves? Is it inconsistent cash flow? Or do you not have access to capital? So respond in the comments and let me know which one of these are your major pain points. It could be personal too, but personal and business if you're a business owner. Let me know. I'll see what y'all talk about.
So what did they talk about? Well,
well, I put it on Alignable also.
oh,
I
did
put a
you?
poll on Alignable, and cash flow and paying themselves first were the top two that were selected. And they kind of go hand in hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not getting the cash flow, then you don't have any money to pay yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So the main thing I think for business owners really is to assess really all aspects of their business, but how they're going about generating income. I think a lot of times we get stuck in a box and we think this is the only way to make money, right? This is what I want to do, so I'm just going to do that, versus trying to bring in additional income in other ways through your business, which will increase your cash flow.
Mm-hmm.
But then also looking at your expenses. So we sign up for these different subscriptions and they're only $7 a month or
Right.
$12 a month, right? It's, we don't think it's a lot, but then before you know it, you've signed up for so many, and you're
Mhm.
spending, a couple $100 a month on subscriptions for products and services you may not even be using.
Right,
So
right.
once you do that deep dive, a lot of times that frees up money,
Mhm.
So that was I got a lot of a good response on. I got a bigger response on Alignable than I did on Instagram.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Hmm.
And I do will say when it comes to like the business community, they definitely seem more engaged
Hmm.
on Alignable than they do on the other platforms. And maybe because the other platforms still have that, social aspect or but I'm so new to Alignable. It just seems like everybody's business related and maybe they're not. I don't know. But it's an engagement and it's a different environment because like if you go on LinkedIn, that's a business platform, but it just seems like it's dry for lack of a better word.
Well, I I post different content to different platforms. So Instagram and TikTok and Facebook, I'm talking to my regular people, right? Those would be the people who would want the one-on-one coaching. Alignable are small business owners, so that's why that question was posed on Alignable. But LinkedIn, because I do the corporate workshops, I do those types of posts on LinkedIn, and I get a lot of engagement from business owners on LinkedIn just about problems with their, employees or morale, or so it's you get different feedback based on the platform, based on what your topic is.
Yes, and that's true. You have to know each platform, and I do. I know it changes frequently, but I do have the breakdown where I forgot where I got it from, but it tells you the demographics and the ages and the type of people on Facebook and type on Instagram, the type on TikTok. I haven't really ticked and talked. I have like two, I think, out there, and I keep getting messages. Oh, this got more engagement. I'm like, okay, well, we'll
Yeah, I don't
see.
put I don't put a lot on there, but the when I started my business, that was the big wave. Everybody said you got to get on social media. You have to
Mhm.
let people know who you are, and so it makes sense, right? They want to see your personality. They want to see that, like Jason's, like the whole know, like, and trust, and you can't just do that with a plain post.
Right.
So but I'm not doing no dances and all, yeah, I'm not doing that.
Go
So
get your
yeah.
money,
So hey, like your workshop was today about being your authentic self. I am being my authentic self.
so a part of my authentic self is missing, which is a good lead into this next question for you. I really wanted to use my TikTok as my vent, like social media, where I can be like, I'm so sick of y'all, my cousins. I'm sick of y'all not listening, not trusting, not uniting. How much further do you want to keep staying behind the rest of the culture because you won't get it right? Now, that's me doing it in a clean version,
Well,
but I
yeah, yeah.
really want to go off because it's kind of like, duh, when are y'all gonna get it together? When y'all gonna start trusting one another? When y'all gonna start, So that's kind of how I wanted my TikTok to be. So, and that's truly authentically me. I be at home sometimes cussing folks out like I cannot believe
Well, and we
this.
we have to walk a thin line of being professional, but being also showing a little bit of ourselves. So I understand that because yeah,
Exactly.
when my son tells me all the time, you need to be how you are at Auntie house. That's who they want to see. I was like, I don't think they're ready for that.
Exactly. I said, I don't know if they're ready for it now. So, but I said, well, it seems like I can do it on TikTok. That's a whole different platform, but they'll
Hmm.
link me together anyway. But I just really want to be saying that somewhat sometimes. So, my question to you, Dr. Thembi, sorry, is my platform is to create awareness and encourage support of Black owned businesses, ultimately for unity and collective restructuring and restoration for our communities. So, in your opinion and in your own words, why do you believe it is important for us to support Black businesses in our community? And then, most importantly, why is it important for them to thrive?
Um, this takes me back to my grandparents' time
Mm.
when they had a Black lawyer, a Black doctor, a Black dentist.
Mhm.
The guy who owned the corner store was Black. Uh, I mean, you anything that you needed, you could get from a Black business owner.
Yes. Yeah.
When that happens, the dollar stays circulating in our community. We're helping each other's household. I'm feeding you and you're feeding me, right?
Exactly. Hmm.
Versus now, you go to a hair store that Asians own. You go to all the different restaurants that Black people don't own,
Hmm.
and so you're feeding that family. You're
Hmm.
feeding their household.
Yes.
But other cultures aren't like that. They stick together.
They
Their dollar, they want their dollar to stay within their culture. And we've
exactly.
lost that sense of pride
Yes.
and sense of self-worth and understanding wealth distribution where, if I'm making money and you own a business and I'm doing business with you, then I'm helping you make money and it's going to your kids. And they don't see the bigger picture. They just see, well, this hair store sells it for $2 cheaper, so I'm going to go over here. Versus, yeah, I might pay a couple dollars more, but I know their children. My kids go to school with
Right.
their kids, kind of
Mhm.
thing, right? Um, and then just even with having Black business owners, that gives the kids something to look up to, right?
Yeah.
So you see, versus us growing up in the 80s and the 90s, the kids' role models were people in the street doing stuff they ain't have no business doing, right? That's how you figure the only way you can make money. But if you see, like I have a friend who owns a school in Florida and her husband owns a construction company. They're building, they're doing things, and all the kids love them. Everybody in the neighborhood, because they see what they're doing and they're giving back, and they see there's a way to make money legitimately and thrive. right? But
Yes.
if they don't see that, then they feel that the only way to make money is to do something illegal.
Right, right.
So you're getting the role models and representation. You're getting the recirculation of the dollar,
Mhm.
um, and it's just helping to keep the resilience in the community.
Exactly. Exactly. And you couldn't have articulated it more. Some of the same things in which I've said, some of the same things in which I witnessed when I was growing up, and not even realizing the transformation that happened along the way, where businesses that once were Black owned no longer were Black owned. To the next thing you know, you see a huge disproportion. So, what I'm excited to see is a lot of revitalization coming back into communities where there were vacancies and where you didn't see a presence of Black business the way you do now. The difference is back then, it seemed like it was a natural thing to support.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like, okay, come on and support, give back, and to the community, and you have to give that history of understanding before the dollar circulate in our communities. You're talking about like over a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Close to a year. We had no choice, but we were the wealthiest, the strongest community then, right?
Right.
We have lost our financial strength because we have lost our collective wealth.
Right.
That's what's huge, is whether I have $1 or whether we have $1,000, we all have a choice. We have a choice to change how our communities look. If we came together in unity and said, we're not going to support this liquor store they're trying to put up, we already got one right across the street from it, they couldn't sustain because they would need your resource. So if you withhold your resource, then they're longer there. And that's where that mindset can change and where you can see what you want in your community. Plus, who's going to be more vested in your community? Are they taking your money and then taking it back to grow their community?
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
So I'm going to be more vested in my community when my community supports me. And then it goes into that bigger picture. Now you have a bustling community of thriving businesses. You have opportunities for the high schooler children you talk about to get their first job with the neighborhood grocery store or the neighborhood dry cleaner or whatever the case may be. And then we get back our village and our community again.
Right.
That is where my passion comes from to do what I do.
Yes, I appreciate you for your platform and for promoting Black owned businesses.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So, Bernice, I got it right this time. You were incognito. Thank you for your comment. She says, Black people say our products are too expensive, but spend a lot of money in other businesses because they are name brand and more credible in their eyes. That is what has been said to me. That, unfortunately, is true.
Yep.
Unfortunately, is true. Another business owner even has told me he was told by someone he knows through someone he knows, okay, that I'm not supporting his business, even though I know he has a better product and he knows what he's doing. I'm not about to make him rich.
Oh, but they're gonna go make somebody else rich. I mean, it's like you said, it all goes back to mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Even you the people who, let's say, they are going to support a Black owned business, they want to go in and haggle on the prices. But you can't go in those other people's stores and haggle on the prices. You have to, you're either gonna buy it or you're not. That's it. But they want the Black business owner to give them a deal. Well, no, they had to pay for their merchandise. They have overhead. They still have bills to pay. So it's about mentality, changing your mentality,
Yeah.
and understanding that we're all in this together.
Exactly. And here's the thing. Now, you mentioned the deals. Now, we're called Deals with Bob because we do encourage to offer deals, discounts, giveaways, and rewards. However, what we will not do is give hookups. So that's a different mentality. And the only reason why we aligned ourselves and trying to switch that mentality, because we're not out here, brother man, what can you give me off that? Now, if I'm offering a deal or a discount, that's in line to big box. because
Right.
big box do the same thing.
Sale.
So,
Right.
right. But don't come in haggling because the price is the price.
Right.
You will not go into a Nordstrom's or into a Saks and sit up there and try to haggle. So don't do that with our people,
Right.
especially when we have quality products and services, because we do. Let's
Right.
be honest, we do. So, can you believe it? We are at the 8 o'clock hour. We're about to wind up our conversation. It just went so quickly. I almost lost track of time. I got so engaged with you. Oh, if you get me on the soapbox of talking about Black business. Ooh.
I know. I know.
So, but what I do need to know, with everything that goes on, and we talked about stress, we talked about money stress, we talked about different things, and I'm sure you have some of your own. What keeps you encouraged?
Um, my clients, helping people.
Mm.
I enjoy seeing them go on their journey and accomplishing their goals. The light bulb goes off. They realize that they won't be in debt for the rest of their life. I mean, just all of that encourages me to say, okay, there's somebody else out there, somebody else out there.
I love it. I love it. So our final two, well, one question and then your answer, the remark. What book is currently on your nightstand or that you have recently read or would highly recommend reading?
Um, Atomic Habits.
Atomic Habits.
That again, back to, going back to the basics, just finding ways to create habits to make your life easier. In everyday simple tasks that we do that we put off because we have so much on our plate. How do you find ways to incorporate it so that it's not cumbersome and you don't keep putting it off and avoiding it? So it's been passed around to all the kids in my house.
I have it noted. Atomic Habits. I love it because they can be good or bad. So I'm
Right,
definitely with
right.
you.
And he gives some really good tips on how different ways to incorporate you know, habits into your daily routine.
I love it. So tell us, how can we connect with you? Because I know I don't always have it together when it comes with finances. And because that industry is forever changing, even when you do know something, you may not know what you need to know today. So how
Right,
can
right.
people connect with you?
My website, sensiblelivingcoach.com. And then that's my same for YouTube, Instagram. It's all under Sensible Living Coach. If you're looking for me on LinkedIn, it's my name, Thembi Aquil.
Awesome. Awesome. Now, of course, we would love for you to join our community here at Deals with Bob so people know that it's a one-stop shop when look under financial services and they can find you. So that's a conversation we'll have at a later time.
Definitely.
Right now, do you have any final remarks that you would like to share on tonight's show? Because we definitely want to have you back, that you want to make sure our viewers hear today.
Um, well, I'm working on a book. So my goal is to have it done by the end of the year.
Oh, awesome.
So I'm looking forward to having that out. And so maybe I'll come back on once it's actually out and I've gifted you a copy so we can discuss that. But that's what I'm working on now.
Awesome. Awesome. We love doing book giveaways. We definitely believe in literacy here. So I would love that. That's awesome. That's awesome. I see we have a couple final remarks in the chat. Miss Tanya says, powerful conversation. Thank you. Thank
Mm.
you. She said, thanks to me and to you. Oh, yes, we
Okay,
had a
thank you.
phenomenal powerhouse guest on tonight. So
All
I
right.
truly appreciate it. And those who watching, if you are Bob and you want to be part of our conversation, make sure you just reach out to me at dealswithbob.com. You can send that to info@dealswithbob.com and we'll contact you for how you can get onto the show. If you have not already done so, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Let me tell you what your subscription does. It allows for a further reach of these conversations. And just like we talked about, We need unity and we need to support one another. But if you don't know that that business is out there, and if you don't know the product or services they offer, how can you support? Most importantly, this platform gives people the opportunity to connect to the business owner, which allows for an organic relationship of support. Therefore, when you subscribe, it gives us a further reach in order for us to support the people that we have had conversations with. So make it quite simple. When you're on YouTube, do a search for Deals with Bob and just click that subscribe button. While you're there, why don't you go ahead and also click that notification bell so you know every time that we go live. I want to just thank you again, Dr. Thembi. It's been an amazing conversation like I knew it would be. And I thank you for spilling a little tea about your book. So I do look forward to talking with you soon and
Yes.
finding out more about what's going on and the amazing work you do. I would definitely have you in my Rolodex for referrals for the financial literacy opportunities when people are looking for that coach.
Okay.
And so I definitely will be in contact with you for that as well.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I have a couple business owners that I will be recommending that they email you about coming on as a guest also.
Oh, thank you. I would truly appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yep.
And I thank all of you for watching, whether you're watching live or on the replay. I am Sonia M. Weaver, and I encourage you to spend with purpose because your dollar does matter, and deal with Bob. Have an amazing night. I'll see you next week. Bye bye.